Hi, welcome back to the channel. So today I had a fun idea for a video that is kind of going to be trying to turn my cats into eyeshadow palettes. And what I mean by that is I'm basically curating some of my favorite eyeshadows based on how I feel like my cats would be represented if they were makeup. So kind of basing it on like their personality and also obviously on how they look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over there, grab my cats one by one, and then show you what they look like, and then I'm going to recreate them in makeup form for you on my hand. I'm going to swatch out the colors that would be in their respective palettes. So I'm going to start with Alaska because Alaska is the mean one of them. She's not mean, but she's going to be the squirmy one if I pick her up. She doesn't like being picked up. But I'm going to pick her up just to show you guys on camera what she looks like up close. So let me just go grab her. And also, I'm wearing reindeer socks, so don't make fun of me for wearing my reindeer socks. Come here. Come here, sweetie. Oh, yes. Now, she doesn't really like being picked up, but she was sleeping, so it was a good time to get her. This is Alaska, so take a look at what she looks like. She is a dilute tortie, so she's got some gray in her, like some kind of orangey colors, white, and even some black. And she's got beautiful green eyes. Lovely little green eyes. So yeah, that's what she looks like. You can see her ears are back. She does not like being picked up, so I'm going to put her down now. But we're going to make the Alaska palette for you guys. So I've already done this. I've already gone through and swatched these before so that I would be able to do this somewhat, organized. So basically what I thought first for Alaska was getting some colors that represent her fur. So I started with the chocolate bar palette because these are all going to be relatively neutral palettes just because, my cats, fur colors are obviously going to be kind of neutral. So if you're into neutral palettes, you might find this fun. So the first shade that I picked for Alaska is from the chocolate bar palette, and it is the, it's from the semi-sweet, chocolate bar palette, and it is the color called Puddin', right there. So it's kind of like a cool tone, taupey brown, and I figured that was a good like all over color for her kind of fur color. So I'm just going to swatch that here. I've done so many swatches on this hand and wiped them off a bunch, so like my skin's kind of dry, so they're swatching not the greatest, but if you have the palette, I'm sure you can. Don't take this as a judgment of quality for now. So that's the first color, and then to represent the kind of orangey color, sorry, I gotta get something to wipe my finger off each time. To get something to represent the orangey color in her fur, I went into the regular chocolate bar palette, the original, and chose the shade Salted Caramel, which is this one right here. And it is more of like an orangey kind of brown shade to represent the more orangey, warm parts of her fur. So you can see that there. And then of course she's got a lot of gray in her fur. So the next color I chose, and I didn't want to do the entire thing based on her fur colors, but she is such a unique looking cat. Like her fur is so multi-colored that it was like hard not to. So the next one is the gray tone that I chose from the Sephora Color My Life palette. And these are not really named, like they are, but I don't have the list of names with me, but it's this matte kind of bluey gray shade. So it's like a cool gray. And that's going to be the next one. Again, I apologize that these swatches aren't the greatest because I just have the grossest dry skin right now, and this one's like going on super patchy, but I don't think that's completely the eyeshadow palette's fault. I think it's kind of my skin right now, but you get the gist. So those three are kind of to represent her marbling of her fur. I think that's pretty good representation of her fur. If you saw that pattern kind of marbled around, that's kind of what she looks like. And then Alaska, one unique feature about Alaska, I think, that I tried to point out when I showed you guys her, is her eyes. So she has very green eyes. So that's her trying to get into her food cupboard right now. Alaska, sweetie, no, it's not time for food. So for her green eyes, I picked this Sally Girl single in the shade Green Apple. It was the closest green I could find in my collection to her true eye color, because her eyes really are very, very green. It's really pretty. And that's like unique to her in comparison to the kittens, which you will see in a minute. So that's kind of the color there. Really pretty green kind of shade. And so now that I based those first four, each of these like cat palettes that I'm making are gonna have 5 shades, just because I didn't want to get too crazy out there. But the first 4 are kind of all based, all of the 3 palettes I'm going to show you, curated palettes that I'm going to show you, are 4 shades that are based on their physical appearance. So like the fur colors, the eye color, and then the last shade is kind of more of a based on kind of her personality. I'm sorry, give me 1 second, she's getting into her food. Out of the food, please. No. Okay, got my water bottle so I can spray her this time. Yeah, so the last shade I wanted to include in the Alaska palette is one that represents her personality. Now, Alaska is pretty quirky. She is very boisterous. She is loud. She is, woo, come on, there we go. She's quite a princess at times, and she's also very, how do I put this? She can be nice 1 minute and then be really mean the next minute to like the kitties and stuff. So she's kind of like got like a bipolar personality at times. So for that reason, I thought it would be kind of fitting to include a duochrome for her last shade, because it kind of represents her crazy dual personalities. And it's a little bit of sparkle because these are all like pretty matte. The green has a little bit of a satiny kind of finish, but it's pretty much matte. So I wanted one in this palette to be a little bit more kind of fun and sparkly. So it is a Cleona shadow in the shade Fog. And it is this beautiful duochrome. I will show you. This beautiful duochrome, sort of turquoisey blue kind of color. And it shifts to like a gold. It's really hard to see in this light, like the shift, but it does shift to like a gold. So now that you see them all lined up, this would be the, if Alaska was a palette, this would be the Alaska palette. I'm trying to get it to focus here. My camera sucks, man. That's the Alaska palette. And then I'm going to do the kitty palettes on the other hand so that we can see them all at the end all together. So the first kitty I'm going to do is Luna, because she was kind of difficult to do, and you'll see why. Come here, Luna. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So this is Luna. She's one of the 2 kittens, and she's almost all black. She's got like some kind of golden color eyes, and she's got a couple little white patches. She's got a white patch here on her chest, and she's got another white patch here on her belly, and little cute little pink ears, and she's very, very cute, very sweet. But this one was a little bit tougher, obviously, because there's not a lot going on color-wise for her. So the first shade I picked, obviously I had to pick a black because she's a black cat. So I went into the Conspiracy palette and I picked out the matte black My Rides Here shade, because that I felt was like a pretty true black, a matte black. That would be a good shade. Oh, I just did it on the wrong finger. Hang on 1 second. So I'm doing it on the other hand this time, not this hand. All right. I'm gonna try and swatch that one with my like not main finger because I don't want to stain. Okay, so I'm gonna put her palette kind of up here and then I'll do Mavericks below. So the first shade, of course, matte black, to represent her main fur color. So that's that one there. And then I thought I, of course, need to include now like a white for the little white patches that she has. So I thought it'd be cool to do one that was like a little bit shimmery. So I took my Quo palette and there's a shade in here, Tinsel, and it's got like some shimmer to it. It's like a whitish cream shimmery one. And I thought this would be a good one. It's a little, got a little bit of fallout, which is unfortunate, but so there's that one. So you got a matte black, a shimmery white, and then the next shade I had for her was based on her eye color because she's got those kind of golden eyes. So I went into my chocolate gold palette, and I didn't want to go with like a super intense gold like that main chocolate gold color, right, the big shade right there. I went with this one out here, which is gold dipped. It's a little more subdued because, as you saw, her eyes are like just kind of a yellowy gold, like they're not like a really deep saturated gold. So that's what this one looks like. It's kind of more of a neutral, like more of a champagne-y kind of color, but looks really pretty together with these two so far. And then I did a color based on, so she's a girl cat, so I wanted to do something kind of girly for her, and so I thought, and also she's got like the inside of her ears are kind of pink, so I was like, okay, well, why don't I include like a pink for her palette? So I went into my this palette, the laptop palette, Moschino or whatever, however you say it, and there's a nice salmony pink right there, and I thought that was perfect for like that little kitty ear color, and it was nice and feminine for Luna. So that was the next one. Just gonna swatch that next to that other one. So that's what we're looking like so far. So like, it seemed hard at first because I was like, oh, how am I gonna do Luna's palette? She's just like a black cat, right? But then once I started putting it together, I was like, you know what? I actually really love this color combination. Like, I love that. So I needed one more color to finish hers off based on her personality, and she is just such a sweetheart. She is, wouldn't hurt a fly. She loves kisses, like she never bites. She loves giving you little kisses. She's just the sweetest. She's the sweetest little girl. So I found this pretty shade in one of my Sephora palettes, and it's kind of like another glimmery kind of beige kind of shade with some sort of warm undertones, and I thought that was like gonna go really well with this combination, and it just represents her warm and sweet personality. So I will swatch that last one for you here. It's kind of a deeper and less metallic version of that one from the chocolate gold palette, as you can see. It's like a nice warm kind of beigey brown with some shimmer. So that's kind of how that's looking. So this is, come on camera, focus. God, I wish my camera, there we go. Oh, it was good for a second there. Anyway, you get the gist. This is the Luna palette. And now we will do the last one based off of Maverick, the little boy kitty that I have. So I'm gonna go grab him. He's sleeping right there on the tree. Come here, Maverick. Hey, buddy. Come on. Oh, yeah. Good boy. All right. So this is Maverick. He's just a traditional, you know, brown tabby. He's very spotted. He's got white on him. He's got the same kind of like golden colored eyes that Luna has. And he's a very sweet boy. He's got lots of different browns in him. Kind of a more warm toned brown compared to Alaska, who had a lot of that gray and cool tone in her. So this was a fun one. And I will share with you what I came up with for him. So first thing I did was I grabbed a brown from the Semi-Sweet chocolate bar palette again, because he's mostly brown, of course. So this time I wanted to start with like his darkest color. He's got some black in him. This is not a black, it's like a very dark brown called Hot Fudge right there. So I thought this would be good for the dark parts of him. Now when I swatch them on my camera, it's probably gonna look the same as, oh, it doesn't. Okay, that's good. In real life it doesn't either, but I was worried my camera wouldn't pick it up and wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the matte black and the very dark brown, but you actually can tell the difference. So that's the first shade for his. And then I thought I want a sort of a medium brown, like warm tone brown, and I went back to the Conspiracy palette for the iconic shade Diet Root Beer right there for his next color. So we'll swatch that right next to it. There, that's what that looks like so far. So kind of a caramelly brown. And then I wanted a, you know, a white to represent the lighter white parts of his fur. Sorry, I gotta get some of this shadow off my finger. So back to the laptop palette. That's where I found the white I wanted to use, because there's this beautiful white in here. It's not really a white, but it's like, it's a cream kind of color, and it's got like a lot of gold undertones to it. Like when you swatch it, you can see a lot of gold reflex in there, as you will see in a second. It's kind of a nice, creamy, warm, goldeny kind of color. It's really, really pretty. I mean, it doesn't swatch the best on my skin tone, but that's because I'm very white. I'll try and build it up as much as I can, but it's just not going to do it justice because I'm so pale. So there you go, you can kind of see that. And in the right light, it does have like a lot of like a golden reflection to it. Like it's like a golden-y shimmer kind of deal. So that's that one. And then the next one I wanted to do was his eye color, and I didn't want to just repeat the same exact color that I did for Luna's eye color, which was this middle one, this middle gold. But he does kind of have the same color eyes, but I was like, it's cheating to go with the same color. So this time I went into the Gingerbread Spice palette, and I picked this shade Spiked Eggnog right here. So that'll be the next one. It is very similar, I guess you could say, but it's not quite as, obviously the chocolate gold palette is like true metallic formula. This is just a shimmer, so it doesn't have the same metallic quality that the chocolate gold one has. And this one is a bit warmer as well. So as you can see, I just swatched it right there. That's Spiked Eggnog. So I love the way these four are looking so far, like together. It's a beautiful like fall kind of color, warm palette. But the last one, based on his personality, I was thinking to myself, how am I gonna make this, like it looks a little girly, right? And he's a boy. And I kind of did that with Luna's by throwing in that pink there to like represent her feminine side. And Maverick is a boy kitty, so I wanted to put like maybe a color in that would show that he's a boy. So I decided to find a nice blue. And not only that, but I wanted a color that was going to represent his personality, and he's very playful, fun, very in your face. He's very he wakes me up every single morning by like head-butting me in the face to get up, and he's just very like kind of in your face in a good way. So I found this gorgeous blue. Oh, sorry, I should show you before I swatch it. It's gorgeous blue in the laptop palette. It's this one right here in the corner. And it just really spoke to me for like his last color, because it's very loud, it's very in your face, it's blue, so it's kind of like the traditional boy color, but it's like shimmery, so it's got like that texture to it, and I felt like that kind of goes with his vibrant personality. So this is what it looks like. So there we go, those are the two kittens, Maverick and Luna, and this is Alaska. So there you got all three of the kitty palettes for all three of my cats. Now, I don't know what you guys thought of this idea. It's kind of silly and dumb, but I don't know. If you have a pet, maybe you'll think it's kind of fun. And I would love to see it if anyone's watching this and has a YouTube channel and wants to do a palette for your dog or for your cat. I will totally watch that. Because I just love that kind of thing, and I just love my cats, and I just thought it was super fun to make palettes that represented each of my 3 kitties. So I just want to know what you guys think of the actual color combinations, like forgetting that they're based off my cats, like just purely based on the color combinations of these 3 palettes. Like, which one do you like the best? Like, if you were to buy one of these, and these were the colors that it came with, like, which one would you actually like? Which one would you actually buy? I think for me personally, I absolutely love the Luna palette, actually, because I didn't think I would. I thought that one would be like the hardest to make just because she's a black cat, but I love the way the gold and the pinks and the white and black come together. Like, that is just so pretty. I love it. But let me know what you guys think. Which palette do you like the best? I know my camera sucks and it isn't focusing on my hands, it's focusing on my face, which I wish it wouldn't because I don't have the greatest skin, not having the best skin day today. So, like, camera, could you just focus on my hands instead? That'd be great. It's not gonna though. Well, you get the general idea. So if you liked this video, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel. I do lots of other makeup related videos, swatching videos, things like that, reviews and stuff like that. So if that's your cup of tea, then give my channel a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.